Welcome to The Divide with Mike and Corey, two diehard baseball fans who don't agree on anything. Which side will you choose?
Welcome to The Divide.
This is The Divide.
With Mike and Corey.
That's your boy Todd Frazier.
Hey guys, I'm Julie Stewart Banks.
Hey, what's up? This is Cliff Floyd. You can catch me on The Divide.
You can catch me on The Divide on Fox Sports The Gambler.
Hopefully our disagreements one day bring us all together.
So stupid. So corny. And so stupid. I hope our disagreements bring us together.
Yeah, I do. This is The Divide.
And here we are, Divide Live, Fox Sports The Gambler, 102.5 Philly, 104.1 Trenton. Check us out on the iHeartRadio app, because we are in podcast form as well, where we do stuff like not take breaks and curse.
Dual podcast form. We have the clean version from Fox and then
That's
our
right.
version too.
That's right, our version. I feel
Our
like,
version's
remember
better.
when there was like
award-winning version.
like DVDs and you'd buy a DVD and it was
Yeah.
like extended cut plus, 4 hours of bonus film. And it was like, dude, the movie was 90 minutes long. How do you have 4 hours?
Did you
of
ever
film?
watch any of the bonus?
Never.
Films? Yeah.
Or
yeah.
like what they call it, the director's cut, or they have the director's commentary where
He's like,
the
here we
director
were.
literally talks over the
Yeah.
scene. Like it's
Channing Tatum was like, I should do this with my shirt off. And we were like, yes. And so that's how we decided to do it. It's just ridiculous. It's just.
never did I ever watch anything but the movie. And even like I would be a sucker for like, with never before seen scenes or whatever they called
Yeah.
it. Like, and I would watch the movie and I would have no idea which ones were added.
Even like when you're at Universal and they have the director like explain the scene or whatever, like when you go to ET or whatever, any of those like beyond backlot tours, like I'm always like, this is corny. Don't set the scene for me.
I
like,
don't want to know.
Yeah, be like, yo, I did some epic stuff. Check it out. Here you go. Like that's about it. Like they're like, here, we wanted to paint E.T. as a human, so what we did was have him around flowers. Like, no, I don't want to hear any of that. I want action, nonstop action.
That's right. I want a Fast and Furious
Yeah.
67 as well.
And I want a guy to explain it to me in the most professional way possible.
Let's get into it. Baseball news this week, probably one of the heaviest news, is that John Sterling, Yankee radio announcer, is retiring, partly or mainly, I should say, due to health concerns. John is 85 years young and shocked. The Yankees.
You're talking about new stuff for the New York Yankees. Apparently ESPN is working on an 8-part documentary series titled "Oh, Yankees Win."
Yep. Famous for that call, along with a lot more. It's sad.
It is.
I'm trying not to be an insensitive jerk here. This dude's 85 years old.
Yeah.
We've been, me and you.
You can bet the Ranchie on Franchi.
Sorry, I got tons of them.
To deep right center.
You and I have been personally joking about how old he is and how long he was going to be doing this for.
And Susan.
And Susan too. For how many years now?
Yeah.
So when it's funny because they announced Susan, first of all, for those of you that haven't read anything, Susan Waldman is shocked.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you've been
And appalled.
sitting next to him. He's
Yeah.
85 years old.
They never talked
He's been
off the air.
broadcasting for 36 years.
It's kind of like some of these nights where you just walk out, like you leave money at the nightstand, you just walk out of the studio, leave me to produce all this. No, I'm just kidding. It would be great, like if one day you retired and I was like, I had no idea. Like, it's like showed up to the studio and Corey wasn't here.
I swear.
You're like, you could bet the Fuente on Ranch.
It's just look, he's called over 5,000 regular season games, 211 postseason games, 5,060 consecutive games, like never missing every at bat for Derek Jeter, every inning of Mariano Rivera. Like he's been there for it all. He's going to be honored this weekend at when they play the Rays. So it's sad, but at the same time, it's a little predictable. I mean, come on, John. Enjoy what you got left of your life and relax a little bit.
Do you have like a favorite call?
A text message from Teixeira. It doesn't even make sense, and it's corny, but
Yeah.
I did like that one.
That got a lot of legs for how corny it was.
Yeah.
This is my favorite.
There is a 2-0. Swung on and into the air to deep right. That ball is high. Mid is far. It is gone. Second deck.
Yep.
It's a 3-run
Yep.
home run from Mike Tachman.
Probably the best thing
Second,
Mike
he said
Taxton.
second deck, by the way.
Second deck.
Second
for
deck.
those kiddies at home. But it's so great.
I mean, we wish him the best. Don't think we're these mean people. We wish him the best. We hope his health has a turn for the better and that he can enjoy a lot of things. But it's funny kind of getting on these different Yankee news outlets and a lot of the Yankee fans like, oh no, I can't believe it. It's like these are the same Yankees. Like for those who don't know, Bob Shepard was one of the in-stadium announcers. You know, also called like the voice of God. He had a great voice. He would announce every batter. Like
course.
he was 99 years old when he died.
Right.
And people were like, "Oh no, Bob!" Like Bob was almost 100.
Like he was probably like, no, batting, not me. Please take me out. No, let's take Bob Shepard out to the shed. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that's terrible.
But no, it kind of shocked everybody a little bit. I mean, he missed a few games. He missed like 30 some odd. Actually, more than that. No, about 20 some odd games last year due to health concerns. So, John, you're too old. You shouldn't be working. You should be concentrating on your health. And you pretty sure you have a free pass to see any Yankee game you want. So just enjoy yourself.
And Susan, don't hesitate to join your partner. But look, like two things I noticed in Yes Network and a few other Yankee outlets, they kept saying he's the radio voice of the Yankees. So I feel like Michael Kay was like, remember, there's another voice over here. You know what I mean? He is the voice of the Yankees. Bob Shepard was, John Sterling was. So if they were both still talking about that, you could argue that. I like Michael Kay. But right now, that's all you got as far as like an announcer. So I just thought that was strange. I really did. And I was like, I wonder if that was Michael Kay's camp to be like, hey, let's remember, like, Michael Kay is also the voice of the Yankees. So please call him the radio voice.
I hope that's not true.
Yeah,
man.
it's just weird that people were saying
I don't
that.
mind Mike. I don't love him, but I don't hate him like some
Right.
Yankee fans do. He's
Yeah,
all right.
The see ya definitely helped
I mean,
his
my
career.
favorite part about watching or listening to the television broadcast with Michael Kay is when he has like Paul O'Neill or Singleton on and they bust his chops about never playing baseball. So to me, but I think that's good balance. And K-Rod was all right. You know what I mean? So he could be entertaining. And I know he's done a lot for the Yes Network, not just baseball. But yeah, man, I hope Mike's not that
bitter
selfish.
or even selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope not. I kept hearing it a lot, and outside looking in, you were just like, why do they keep saying that?
And
you know?
you know what it is? Because I could see it.
Mhm.
Like, I hope that's not the case, but
Right.
like I kind of see him being a prima donna. A fat old prima donna, Michael Kay.
Dude.
You know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, but I tuned into the game today without John, and it's a huge void. You know, like
well, you're listening
it's
to
just
Susan the whole time.
yeah.
Which is really
But also, like, you know, the guy calling it is actually watching the game. There were so many times where it's like, it is high, it is fall. Oh, it's back beyond the backstop. Like, it's just like, yo, dude, how do you get it wrong that bad? But, you know, and like I said, when he got hit with that ball, like.
imagine John Sterling was just chained to the chair. That's so cartoonish. He literally was like, ow, ow. Like, if you get hit, you're like, ah. You're not going, ow, ow. Like, come on, give me a break with all that stuff.
Yeah.
For real.
I just, you know, I still kind of hope, too, like, maybe they could hire him just to do the home run calls or something. Like, especially for a new person.
He needs to write the home run calls is what he needs to
Yeah, yeah. And they weren't that great. It's just his delivery and cadence made it even better. Like you
God,
said,
there
the text message from Teixeira, like, that was awful. Like, you thought.
Terrible.
An A-bomb from A-Rod isn't that great. El Capitan, right? Was that Jeters or whatever? I don't know. So,
Yeah, I mean, look, you'll be missed.
World Series is over. Yankees won.
That I'm gonna miss. Yeah, but they could still play that. They can cut that up.
Also, do you think that's when he kind of took his, like, one of his seats as the voice of the Yankees? Like, is that the first one where you're like, all right, now he's an icon?
that call specifically.
Mhm.
Like the,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, maybe in
That's
my
all I
generation, but the
remember.
guy started in '89, so
Right, fair.
I mean, he's forever.
Yankees
I
were
don't know.
terrible in '89.
And the '90s kicked in, and they're
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
we can get used to this. What's going on with the Mets? Are they actually good?
I don't know, man. I
What's
am
happening
wearing.
here?
This is the first time on air I am wearing.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're on strike anymore,
Yeah,
buddy.
No, this is from Temu. $6.
Stop it.
I swear on my life.
Are you serious?
I swear. Check out Temu.com. New York sweatshirt. Dude, it's like athletic. Like it's
It
like
looks solid.
It's solid. It's very solid. So slightly on strike, also slightly hyped. Not trying to get ahead of myself, but the Mets were 0-5. And now we're 10 wins. It's insane. It's great. Headed to LA, so I think that's gonna be a gut check for sure. But yeah, man, swept the Pirates. The Pirates are good. Like they're a great team.
They are good.
Mhm.
We'll give you that.
Yeah,
that was a
yeah,
good
so,
series. You
I mean-
guys had a lot of. You chipped away, man.
No.
Kind of batted all around a few times.
Yeah,
and-
the
and
offense
Your
is-
defense has been
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's great. The offense is clicking. The starting rotation has not become an issue yet. The bullpen is great because you got Edwin Diaz at the helm, so people are afraid of that. It makes the game 8 innings. So when you have a guy like that, that from having Mariano all those years.
Damn right.
So it's pretty exciting. His velocity is down. People are concerned, not the Mets, but obviously too. Like when asked that question, as the Mets hierarchy, are you concerned with Edwin's velocity? You're not going to say yes. Oh yeah, we're extremely concerned. Like I hate some of these questions that are asked, because like it's like, are you concerned with your wife's performance when cooking you dinner? Like if you ever want another dinner again, you're
not gonna say
probably not going to be like,
Not
lately.
concerned.
Yeah, lately I've been noticing like, it's ridiculous.
So I'm glad you brought that up.
Mhm.
The whole question about velocity, because I feel like, first of all, velocity hasn't been tracked forever. It's fairly new. I think they 2010-ish, maybe a little sooner, a little later. They actually started tracking velococity in MLB.
Right.
And now they use it like this huge stat.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get too off the beaten path here.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the why you're having a lot of elbow inflammation and a lot
Yes.
of insane elbow injuries with pitchers.
Yeah.
Because they're so worried about their velocity stat. They're
Yeah.
just trying to keep their velocity up, and they're just throwing the ball hard.
Yeah, they always tracked it, but it wasn't like the fans didn't know it, right?
okay.
And so like there was radar guns since Nolan Ryan, Tom Seaver era, but like the scouts had that. It wasn't on the scoreboard, it wasn't on TV. You're right. 2010 is that era where it started because you had maybe 03 and stuff with Randy Johnson. When you had guys just throwing straight gas like nonstop, that's when it started showing. But you're 100% right. Now it's like, oh, he's having an off day. He's at 93. It's like, dude, you wouldn't know that, And also like that's not fair for the batter to also be able to see that velocity.
Yeah.
Because now they're going to make adjustments on that. So yeah, you're right. That's it's not like if bat speed now is a thing. But if the pitcher knew a batter's bat speed was off, they'd be throwing fastballs nonstop.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's just weird. I don't know.
So Mets are doing great. Let's for your sake, since you kind of are on strike but not really on strike. Let's hope they keep it up. Phillies, you guys just took it to the Rockies, man.
Yeah, they
3 in a row. You got Philly. You got something to be proud of. For I can't
little
say
bit.
for once, but
No.
for right now, I mean, what is it? You guys go to the White Sox? Is that what's happening next? Let's take a look here. Yeah, White Sox actually come to you for the
It's like a
next 3.
weekend off.
Yeah, right. Seriously, way to mail that one in, Philly.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be devastating. You lose 2 out of 3 to the White Sox.
Oh Jesus, man! I don't know. You're
Not saying it's gonna happen, but it could happen.
Sean Brace a heart attack.
Crazier stuff has happened.
You're right about that.
don't know.
Did Brace survive the Vegas trip? Has anybody talked to him?
He was not in today, but he has survived. But now he's going on vacation again. And I saw somebody on Twitter saying he had more vacation time than Roman Reigns. So I was kind of cracking up about that. Shout out to Roy Burton with that.
Man, Sean, it's a tough life. He lives.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
very
you know
tough
what? He
life.
works hard. He's allowed to play hard too. You can't hate him for that.
You know who's working hard?
Who?
the people at Iconic Candy.
Ooh.
And I'm proud to say we are sponsored by Iconic Candy. We're going to have an iconic moment. So we will going forward. We're going to go back into the past and share an iconic moment in sports. I think that's kind of cool, right? They're a family-owned business. They are bringing back brands like you see Bubble Jug. They got a lot of other stuff like Cream Savers. Check out their website. It's like a blast from the past. You can find them at Cracker Barrel, Five Below, and other retailers. It's a really, really cool company. I'm proud to say that they're a part of our family. But also, check them out. Have some gum. I mean, I got to share this with my daughter, and like you shake it up, throw it in your mouth. Sounds terrible. And it's a powder / gum, and you just chew it up. So it's really cool. They're sponsoring the Q102 summer tour. They're going to be all over iHeart, all over Give Us a Shot Network. So I'm excited to make some awesome content with them. I'm even talking about maybe going to the snack and candy convention with them in Indianapolis. So that's next month. So
snack on.
Trying to work on that.
Iconic Candy. So guys, they're not rebranding anything. This is the original brand. It's just the company that's now carrying it called Iconic Candy. So think back in the day, the good old days when you didn't have to worry about bills and mortgages and all that other stuff, when you had no responsibility and you just wanted to enjoy some candy. These are the type of candies that Iconic Candy is all about. The old school stuff that just brings a world of memories back to you. Check them out. It's iconiccandy.com, correct?
Yeah.
iconiccandy.com.
Yeah. So also like I shared like how the other place you work at has like 90s are in right now.
Oh
like
my God. You
it's
see
like,
the way everybody's dressing. Teenagers are
flipped.
dressing like it's the 90s. It's unreal. And lucky for them, I have a pair of jeans from the late 90s that still fit.
Good for you, man. I kept mine. Like I had 8th grade jeans up to like last year that still fit. But the only reason why I always had them was because when I moved out of my house, I was still in college and stuff. I just was making enough money. My dad's like, hey, like I'm not mad. You could have an apartment. Normally it'd be in a dorm room anyway. So I just split the gap between my house and my college and had my own apartment. And I moved out. My brother's like, don't worry, I'll pack all your stuff. Yo, he packed like everything that was like from 8th grade down. Like he took all my other clothes, and that's the life of a little brother. And then
my God.
he only gave it back as he like had that growth spurt. Like, because Carl went from like 4 feet to 7 feet.
Yeah, man.
Like we talked about steroids last week with Carl. I'm gonna talk about his growth spurt. It's insane. Like, you know, like he wasn't this tall dude. Like I used to be able to like hit him in the bottom of his head with my chin, and then one day it just couldn't happen. Now it's like, I don't know.
Tallest guy in the family, and no one knows where it came from.
I think an alien took over my brother.
He's definitely adopted. Just no one told
He's an
him.
alien.
100%.
He's an alien.
So
That's messed up.
the Carl
Cole.
All right, listen, guys. Sticking with Major League Baseball, there has been a string of basically bad injuries with pitchers.
Yeah.
And it's kind of leaving these fans and even the MLB Players Association to figure out what the heck's going on and why is there so many injuries. But you got a ton of pitchers. You know, Ohtani's not pitching this year, but he's still hitting because of his, Tommy John is his elbow.
Spencer Strider.
So you have Shane Bieber, Alcantara, you have Strider, who else? DeGrom, Scherzer out for most of the year with injuries. 20-year-old Marlins prospect, Yuri Perez. We talked about him months ago. Framber Valdez,
How long is
Garrett
Cole out?
Cole.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Come on. You got Brian Wu, Kyle Bradish, Nick Pivetta, and you're talking elbow, shoulder injuries, all starting pitchers. It's just unreal. I know Baltimore is riddled with pitcher injuries, and it leaves everybody wondering what the heck is going on. And the main culprit, did you just do this like the sticky stuff?
Yeah.
So that's not the main culprit. The first thing that came that the MLBPA is blaming it on is the pitch clock.
Yeah.
Which is a little, let's face it, it's a little much. Like is the extra 5 seconds to 10 seconds they would take really the reason why they're blowing their elbow out? I don't know.
I think it's the sticky stuff.
I think I think it's a combination. I think it's the pitch clock, the velocity, the sticky stuff, all of that stuff. And I think these guys are just throwing their arm
and
out of their elbow, shoulder, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, it sucks, right? Because you're talking about those are people we're supposed to tell our grandkids about.
Dude,
Like
you know how much money went out the door? Every single time a name went out of my mouth 2 minutes ago, the
like 30
millions
mils.
of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
It's wild. And it kind of sucks, right? Like on one
Insurance
hand,
companies are going out of business.
Dude, seriously. On one hand, you guys, MLB wanted the pitch clock to make games a little bit shorter, a little bit more compact, to be more appealing. And attendance is up, or at least it was up last year when they introduced the pitch clock for MLB. And now you have these aces that are going down. So it's like, what are people going to try to check out? You know, like why I'm not going to see Garrett Cole pitch anytime soon. So why bother going to the ballpark? You know what I mean? It's like, it's not good, and Mike, I don't know what the answer is here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you know, I look at the Phillies, like Nola or Wheeler go out, like they become as big of a question mark as the New York Mets.
Oh my God.
You know, the Braves, like they're holding strong, but losing Spencer Strider is absolutely crazy. And with Strider, like he learned a new pitch during spring, and I wonder if like that's not the pitch clock. You know what I mean? That's grip. So like, I don't know. It's so crazy. But also like the athletes have strains on their bodies. They're working at, like Noah Syndergaard is the biggest example of this. The guy would eat deer meat like all off season and just work out, like ice baths, working out like an absolute like legit Thor. Like, you know what I mean? But his arm couldn't stay with the body. Like, you know, so I don't know. It's just, it's unfortunate because you have these legendary names now being put on the shelf, and it's like kind of like it's not fun for the game. It's not. Like, I don't want to beat the Braves without Strider, you know?
No, and then honestly, if you're looking at it, it's like, how do you fix the problem? If you add 5 or 10 seconds to the pitch clock, I don't think that's going to fix your issue. You're not going to tell a pitcher that you want to, you know, slow down. You know, you're not, hey, stop throwing 100 miles per hour. Like, that's not a solution. Like, there's no solution here. I know that umpires have been talked about being replaced with AI and robot. I think we just get a pitch machine out there.
Oh, man.
And just say,
Listen.
forget about the pitchers, guys. We'll just have AI. We'll program these weird pitches in there, and they'll put their own spin. That would actually be pretty wild.
No,
I would watch that.
I'm coaching softball, and we use the Blue Flame, and it's funny because it's 8U girls softball, and that ball comes in like 40 plus. I'm just telling you,
That's great.
It is great, but like I could strike out all the little league 8U little league kids with this thing, and these girls are hitting it. Like, they are hitting it, and I'm talking about multiple runs scored per inning. Very proud of them, but also like it's scary too, because you are flinging, like, it's like a catapult. Like, look up a Blue Flame. It's not a pitching machine. It is literally like medieval, like freaking
Catapult.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. And it's just like, so your heart's a little racy, like when you're going through it, because you're like, you know, any minute, if you don't calculate this the right way.
Oh my
you could
God,
do
this
some
thing is a
damage.
monster.
Yo, it can do damage. It can absolutely do damage. But I'm proud to say our girls are doing damage.
We
are
can also
undefeated.
get it right at Walmart. That's
Yeah,
great.
we are undefeated for the year, and we are cruising throughout the season. And Peyton is really smashing the ball. So proud of her.
You got to talk, and in a little bit you guys will hear it. Definitely after our first break. You got to talk to Hosmer earlier this week, which
Big
was
Haas.
really good. Big Haas. So this was a busy week
Yeah,
for you.
it brought back some memories. 2015 was a crazy part of my life. My wife was out of town. I didn't have a child yet. I'm screaming. The police were called. And the first thing,
True story.
Yeah,
you did
the
have
first
the police
thing,
called.
the first thing they ask is, "Where's my wife?" And I was like, "She's out of town."
She's not here. Come on.
And mind
She
you,
can't come to the door right now.
if you knew where I lived, like, there is not a house in sight. Like, I'm not trying to
Dude,
brag.
your neighbors are
Far,
a solid
far
100
away.
yards away
Yeah.
from mailbox to mailbox.
Yeah, so that was during the playoffs. She got back home for the World Series, Game 5. We actually had tickets to. I wasn't able to go because we were in Disney with your family, actually. Matt was right next to me. We're sitting there watching on TV with Royals fans when Haas decided to do the Mad Dash home. And that's what it's called. So I wasted no time. I was definitely, so there was a bunch of things. Like, it unlocked memories of me teaching kids that were slightly younger than me about footwork at first base. Like, I was asked to help a couple of high school kids and stuff like that. So that came back to me. Just my love for first base. So I kind of like, it was like almost like talking to Jay-Z or the Beatles about music. So like we were talking about that a lot. And also like it just, dude, just a lot of memories like were just popping up in my head to the point where I went way off script. But I think, I know he enjoyed it and like just really brought it all back home. I still got our question we like to ask every athlete in, and that's their favorite ballpark to play. He said Minnesota when he's in a slump. He doesn't know if the numbers prove it, but he always felt like he was able to get out of a slump there. We talked about least favorite fan bases. He talked about how Bogaerts went 3 for 4, and when he got out on the 4th time, they like booed him in Boston, and then in Chicago, they were on a losing streak, and they're like, "Don't worry, you get him next time." You know, so it's just like 2 iconic fan bases that he had short stints with, but played very well. So Haas was awesome. But like I said, so now like talking to Terry Collins today, I want to get him on the show. You know, just because I don't know, man, with all these iconic candies and thinking about iconic moments in Mets history, and that was almost there, man. We were at the promised land, you know?
So close. I felt so bad when you guys lost.
You know, Matt really did. And Matt
did.
was a great friend when I was there. But he also told me how it was going to end, and he was completely right.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. You almost, I mean, you want him to be wrong most of the time, pretty much all the time. But.
Do you know that I took an earlier flight home because I was that angry? We stayed in the airport.
Good.
I could not stay in the happiest place on earth.
That's what being a good fan is.
No, I convinced Jen to take an early flight home.
You know what? I don't see anything wrong with that.
Goddamn magic show.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
So you take the early flight home from Denver.
We also to tease this, and you could hear Haas talk about himself, but his wife is from Villanova. She covered Villanova basketball, football. She's huge in Philly. Like, we all love Casey. But he talked about they were on a hiatus for like a year, and he shows up to the Philly Stadium, Citizens Bank, and he got booed. He said there were signs out there like telling him like, you did wrong by Casey or whatever. Like, they all hated him. He's like, so I was like, oh my God. So like he was just talking about that and like how much love they have for his wife, and he's like, I'm glad I'm back with her because I don't know if I would have survived.
Oh my God. That's fantastic, man. That's coming up after the break, guys. Don't forget, follow us on socials. You'll see the most up-to-date stuff. We cut our clips, usually the best of our show. And I know you're thinking, how do you narrow down the best of your show? And to be honest, it's pretty easy. It's only about 30 seconds, 30 seconds out of the hour. But check us out, Divide Live on Instagram, Divide Live on Twitter, Divide Live on TikTok. Check out our YouTube Live at Give Us a Shot, as well as Fox Sports The Gambler. And follow us everywhere. Did I say Facebook? We're on Facebook too, guys. Check us out completely. Oh, you're biting. I thought you had something to say. You good?
No, we're good.
Oh, well, I was like, oh my God. I have look, man, warm weather's approaching.
Yeah.
I feel like
we got to start golfing.
I feel like golf, and we gotta start doing some lives. Get out at some shore places and just let the people know.
You know, we have a lot of friends that own restaurants in the shore.
Humble
I'd love
brag.
to highlight
Humble
them.
brag.
No, I mean, they're small businesses. They're still like LBI Lighthouse Deli, Lighthouse Deli and LBI. That's owned by Mike Seifert and Aaron Seifert. You know, and they're Mike's mom, Nancy. I would love to get out there. We have the Seaside people. You know, so we're gonna do our beach tour. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait for that. But also coming up next Saturday, I don't know if my co-host will be able to be with me at River Horse Brewery. We're doing the Mind the Gap, and it's to raise money for the Children's Specialized Hospital so that they could utilize these funds to help these kids and their families and just give them the opportunity that maybe the insurance company can't. and bridge that gap between what the parents are on the hook to pay and insurance won't pay. So it's a really cool event. We're also launching a watermelon blonde summer ale, which is crazy. Proceeds go to the Children's Specialized Hospital Foundation. We're having a cornhole tournament. There'll be live music and a broadcast of some sort. I have not figured out what yet. Maybe The Divide, maybe somebody else, maybe, a DJ from iHeart. We have not figured out all that, but what I can promise you is there'll be prizes, events. We have the golf simulator inside the brewery where you can play closest to the pin. It's rain or shine. If it's a tremendous amount of rain, we might flip it to May 4th. But outside of that, yeah, check it out. River Horse Brewery in Ewing, New Jersey, Trenton area. It's a beautiful, beautiful brewery, and it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, man, and you guys aren't doing it for the broadcast and everything. You guys are doing it because it's a great event. It raises a lot of money. This is now the second event this calendar year, for a benefit raising money for the Children's Specialized Hospital. It's a great group of people to work for. It's a work with. It's just a great cause. It was first the beer pong tournament, now some cornhole. It's definitely something to check out. Pray for good weather. Let's hope it's a blast and everything sounds amazing. Check out. We will post the details and the links on our socials, so please get involved. It's just a really good time to get out. Come say hey and just kind of share. We're trying to share this experience with you because I'm telling you, the same people that do these events and that come and to support, they have a blast, and it's for a good cause, and it's just a feel-good type event. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, my co-host here, Mike, is talking to Hosmer. The good, the bad, and everything in between. Stay with us as Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler.